When someone decides to live completely authentically, they stop caring about other people's expectations and opinions. Why do you think that society finds that incredibly threatening?
The adults around us just think we don't know what we are doing, or the child does not know what they are doing. And we live in a society whereby the parents are very authoritative, right? They don't listen much.
Yes. How can someone listening to us in the podcast today build the psychological muscle to withstand social friction and choose to be free?
Once you are convinced about something, whatever outcome you get while pursuing that thing is the most fulfilling thing. Even though it's death, it's very fulfilling. When you are actually ready to deal with the consequences, right? That is when you have utmost conviction. Because you just know.
Do we really choose to become things, or we actually influence
something?
There's
something in us that is different that we need to add to the pool of existence. A true teacher does not teach you anything. He always directs you back to yourself. Your parents want you to be something, right? They tell you it's love, but no, it's because they don't want to be seen in a certain way. It's not love. It's selfishness. The word love, that's the highest frequency ever. Literally, you don't really need to do anything for a living. So anything that is helping you point inward, there's no greater love than that. And truly, anything that is pointing you outward may appear to be love, but that is just control. Friend, say, be yourself, really.
Speaking on the person of Dr. Thome Edheka, he is a dedicated dental surgeon, healthcare researcher, and entrepreneur committed to advancing oral healthcare and improving patients' outcome. He earned his Bachelor of Dental Surgery (BDS) degree from University of Port Harcourt, where he trained as dentistry and dental surgery. Over the years, he has built a diverse clinical career, serving in both the public and the private sector. In addition to his clinical work, Dr. Edheka has a strong interest in healthcare research and data management. He holds a professional certification in SQL for data analytics and database development, data management and clinical research studies, and good clinical practices, GCP. He is also recognized as a candidate of the West African College of Surgeons, reflecting his commitment to continuous professionalism and development in excellence in his practice. Today, he serves as the founder and lead dental surgeon of MongerTE Dental Clinic, where he is dedicated to delivering high-quality, patient-centered oral health while promoting preventive dentistry and community health awareness. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the house, please help me welcome Dr. Thome Edheka. Say hi and pop out all of the hand waves and welcome him as we'll be getting into the topic proper. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. That's SQL. That got me. Okay.
Yeah. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we are talking about the main topic, why authenticity threatens people. And when someone decides to live completely authentically, they stop caring about other people's expectations and opinions. Why do you think that society finds that incredibly threatening?
Okay. Generally, as humans, we are very, we like association. We like living in communities, right? So when we don't want to voluntarily choose to ostracize ourselves from our community. So that's so when you want to be different from people around you, really, is ostracization, right? That means you are like, it's like banishing yourself from the community. And before now, the worst thing that could happen to anybody is actually banishment from that community. So that's like the worst thing that could happen. Thinking about it from how we are as people.
Okay. So why like we tell people to try to stay original to themselves, right? But then we also antagonize them when they are actually original to themselves. Why do you think that is actually a thing? Why do you think that you know we tend to hold people, we tend to like we tend to be like, you're not, there are ways you should do things. You should do things like this, you do things like this. At the same time, we are telling these persons that you own your life. You should live your life. You should live to your highest potential. So it's more like this is countering this, right? If you choose to live to the best of your potential, they are saying follow life like this, live life like this. But then if you are living life like that, they say you ought to follow your potential. So there's this, this antagonization people get from society, from family, from religious gatherings when you choose to actually live life based on how you view life. Why do people fear you when you are living your life truly just how it is within you?
Okay. So, first things first. I think the first part you were talking about why people want you to live your life. Like, they want you to be free to live your life. Like, but then when they see that it's totally different, they want to steer you to a path, right?
Yeah.
I think generally I think it's because there's always a framework we are told to live within, right? There's always a framework. So the framework is not so, it may look very diverse, but it's not so big. So once you can't fit into that framework, then they feel like this is extremely something else, and they want you to find something within the framework. So yeah. Then the second part is you're like, why? Why is it that people are really, really threatened about this? Okay. So I think the this comes from how we live as human beings, like how we are taught to live or how we learn life. Okay, let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have various institutions that mold us. We have the family, we have religious institutions, and we have our community. That's the culture, right? In growing up, you may hear things like this family is like this family is like that, right? Meaning there's a framework they want you to work within. We are known for this.
Okay.
Yeah. So once, and because they are known for that and it has been passed down, they want the torch to be passed. Even when it's not it's not original to you. And they don't really care because they will tell you that it was not original to them. That's what they meant. And they followed through, right? Mm. So one thing is conformity with the set out name in the family setting, right? How they are positioned, like this is how this family is, or this is how this culture is, this is how we do things. So it's just following sets parameters or sets way of life. That's why. Then religiously, we are told not to really base things on our knowledge, right? We have to always depend on what is written in our holy scriptures to actually understand things generally. So whatever we are doing, it has to be in line with what is. So it's also a set frame. Just like in the family, when you come and they say, this is how this family is, this is how this society is. That's the way it is religious. So the point is, why people don't why people stay within these things is because that's what everybody is doing, and that's what feels natural to them. But I don't know if I'm deviating from the question. Am I?
No, you're not. Just go ahead.
Okay. So yeah. So generally, the issue we have people face with originality is they don't even know what originality is per se, because there are already frameworks, there are already programs that are running, and to be successful, you need to catch up with these things as much as you can. That's what success is. So if you want to be a success to your family, the legacy of your family. So if your family is known for this, for that, you need to do that very well. That is what is success. Then religiously, if you follow the guidelines properly in your religious setting, that is what success is, and also in your community. So people are afraid to fail. That's number one. Because if they don't follow the frameworks, they are rendered failures. So number one, they don't want to fail. And as I said earlier, once people see that you are not following through with what is set up, they see you differently. So that means you are banishing yourself from the society, right? So you don't want to fail. You don't want to be seen as a very different person. And once they see you different, you may be regarded as being mad too, because really, once you do things very differently, then they see you as either a mad person or this one is just out of touch with reality.
Thank you for the insightful words. But you mentioned that people think that they are failing if they do not follow these conformed rules. And they do not want to fail. That is why they are following more or less the set out rules.
Yeah.
When I am seeing that the set out rules isn't working for me, and I actually want to live authentically, I want to live truly, because like Luke said, the highest form of vibrational frequency is that of authenticity. So when I am finding myself, or even peradventure found myself, and I truly want to live my true self, please, sir, what do you think is the simple measures I could take towards living my true self in today's world, in our society today, considering all of what will come against me? What is the best measure towards actually living my true life?
Okay, I would say love yourself. Love yourself, and love people around you. So, we throw this word around, love, a lot, right? But what it truly means to love yourself is to live the best of your life, right? So live in a way each day you wake up, you are happy. You are happy with the progression of your life, whether the challenges, the ups, the downs, the all about your life. Just love your life. That's one word I could say. Because once you have true love for yourself, you wouldn't do things to conform. You will listen to your inner self and always push out or live your life according to how you feel to be loved. Like, let me put that word properly. How, love, that word love, it's people misrepresent it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, people misrepresent it a lot. But to truly love oneself is to truly live from your inner self. That means everything you do, no matter what the externals, that means your environment, no matter what the external says,
Okay.
deep inside, it gives you a feeling of fulfillment. It gives you a feeling of growth. It gives you a feeling of expanding and helping your community and the whole world in at large, right? So that deep sense of fullness is actually love. But the truth is, most times we don't even get there. We don't know what it is because we have not been able to really get to our inner self, to feel that whole. There is something this guy that did this movie, the Truman Show. What's his name? He's popular. He's popular, right? He said something about when he actually sat one day and realized that the whole world, right, the whole universe is himself, right? And everything is one at the same time. Everything is so big, but at the same time, everything is one. That means he felt a connection with every other thing. So that's true love. Hmm? That's knowing that you are connected to everything and you want everything to grow with you. So coming back to your question, the best way to do this is find that connection within you. How will I normally? But there's a trick to this though, because we grew up with so much bias. The way we see life is probably the way we have been programmed, the way we have seen things, right? But there are certain things that really we do them and it gives us absolute joy. Not because we are having like gains per se, material gains per se, but because we just feel like we have given out to the world and there's a feeling desire. So love is the word. I don't know if I'm really explaining it really, really well. But love is the word. So love yourself. That means also that when you find out that things are not working, there are set parameters, right? And things are not really working in there, and because you are observant enough to know that, okay, I've tried this, I've tried that, even though this is what they say is not working. Love should push you to try something else. Because what do you have to lose if you try something else? So love will always make you innovative. So if this thing is not working, okay, why is it not working? Am I not doing it properly? But once you sit down and say, okay, I'm doing this improperly, I just think it's a system that is not working. It's a system thing. Okay, so what is the alternative? So love ourselves also gives us an open mind, right? To try other things. Because once you have a fixated mind, it means even though that thing does not give you joy, you are going to do it. Even though that thing does not help you express your fullest value, your fullest gifts to the world, right?
Okay.
You wouldn't do it because it's fake. Love will give us an open mind to try other things. And also, love will also, talking about open mind, because that is one of the greatest attributes of love, right? Because an open mind and love for your environment will also make you want to know why somebody is doing something that you are not doing, right? Why is this person taking this action? Okay, this is how, if I'm faced with this situation, this is how I will do it, right? But this person seems like faced with this situation. Why are they doing this way? Love for ourselves and also people, which in the whole spectrum of things are still us, will make us want to inquire, right? What is this thing? Why are you doing this way? Why does it make sense for you? Because this makes sense for me, but why does it make sense? So once you can ask and you pick them together and be like, okay, why? Which one really makes sense? I know this for sure, but this is new. Does it worth my research on this? Should I look into this, right? Or should I, or does this look superior to this? Like, just merely seeing it, I don't really need to look. So, love is the word. To live authentically, that means you are forming your own ideas about the world from yourself. You are generating them from yourself. And the only way to generate it from yourself is by learning. And love will be that thing that will push us to want to learn, to open up our minds, to pick things and not take them as they are, but take them as ideas that could be played with to find the truest value out of them. Yeah. So,
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I think that personally, that the best way I was able to understand what you were saying is that if you truly love yourself, you would actually do everything right for yourself.
exactly.
Yeah. You would satisfy yourself.
True.
You would want to, for example, if I have something that I really want to become, right? And I'm having challenges becoming that thing, ranging from not challenges in terms of resources per se, but challenges in terms of society, family, as the case may be. And for some reason, I am delaying becoming that thing or denying myself of becoming that thing. Now, if I'm able to be courageous enough to go towards that thing, to go towards becoming that thing, it boils down, it goes fast to show how much I truly love myself. Because it is when I actually do that thing that I will feel fulfilled in life. So I am doing myself a whole lot of injustice, a whole lot of hurt, if I do not proceed with that thing which I have thought out to be the best thing for me. Now, even if I fail on that thing, but I'll feel more satisfied knowing that I went towards it. I went in the pursuit of it. So the best way I was able to grasp what you were saying, because sometimes we could have all it in our head, right? The best way I was able to take what you were saying is that the best thing you can do for yourself is to become that thing that is in your heart that you want to become or that you want to do. That is the best way of living. And if you truly love yourself, that is the best way of expressing the love that you have for yourself. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
100%.
Thank you, sir. I read out this question directly. I was able to put it down. So in the book, The Courage to be Disliked, Kishimi was arguing that happiness is essentially the courage to be disliked. If fear is what makes people lash out authenticity,
Okay.
how can someone listening to us in the podcast today build the psychological muscle to withstand social friction and choose to be free, choose to live their true life anyways? So it means essentially, blocking out the noise, right? And living themselves. So how can you psychologically, train yourself to be able to block out the noise, regardless of who is coming from, and live your true self?
Okay. So the only way is pretty simple. There's a saying that says, when you really know what is going on, you know what to do, right? You need to focus on completely convincing yourself that what you're doing is the right thing.
Okay.
Completely. So, do you know when people listen to different thoughts that are coming? Because people listen so much because there are little doubts, right? There are doubts. So, the best way, first of all, is all the doubts you have, you need to clear them out on a personal base. So once you can slowly clear all your doubts, that means you are rooted. You know what you're doing. You are rooted on this path. You've had things coming. You've examined them. You are rooted on the path.
Okay.
The noise, there will be no noise, literally. You won't hear noise. You literally just hear things that you've reasoned through, you've heard, you've looked to it, and you know that, okay, I know this thing, I know where you're going, I understand it, but that's not it. So we need to sit down to do the work. The work of, if there's a path, if there's something we really want to do, we need to sit down to examine it and convince ourselves 100%, like, if not 100%, like a lot, right? You don't know everything, right? But a lot, so that when these things are coming, they are just filters. They are not trying to save you off that path. They are just filters that for you to tweak what you are doing. Because you are fully rooted, you know what you are doing, you know exactly what it is. You are convinced beyond that. Like, it's from within you. There is no doubt about it. You know, like, if you live in a forest and you have no communication with people, you will still know. So that's the level of conviction that you need to have. And literally, nothing will be noise. You see, people call noise because you are not convinced. You are still trying to figure it out. But you have to get somewhere. Before you figure it out, things will always come up, right? So another way to go around it is know that people's opinions or things or the noise are always, how do you call it, polish to whatever that is going on. They are not full-fledged out. Nobody really knows what they are doing completely. That you have to leave what you are doing to follow what they are doing. So, once you hear things, seemingly noise, you can ask, okay, you can ask those things that you are hearing from whatever source you are hearing, okay, how does this, why do you really believe this? Because you have discernment, you have your consciousness. Your consciousness is built in a way that when something makes sense to you and is spoken to you, you understand it. Like, there's no two ways about it. You will get it. So, in the journey of, so first things first, if you want to be yourself, know that what you are doing, right, is convince yourself. You need to convince yourself that what you are doing. And we're not saying convince yourself from like some delusional points, right? When I just say this is it, and you're having so many points that points to whatever you're doing may not be making sense. That's not what we're talking about, right? We're talking about doing something that you personally have considered facts around, and you have summed it up and say, okay, you know what? At this point, this is the path I want to choose, right? So you need to convince yourself, and how do you convince yourself? Open your mind to learn. So when something comes, see it as an avenue to learn. Because truly, I firmly believe, personally, I'm here on this earth to learn, right? To learn, to expand consciousness. That means to improve the world. And how do we improve the world? We improve the world by coming with ideas and transforming them, right? To bring something very unique. So that's how I see it.
We get you. We said when you truly have a clear picture and you are dedicated, focused, you are so focused that there actually wouldn't be noise. Let me drive this in a little further. Let me make it a little bit more personalized. TikTok is where we are live today, and it holds a good number of young people, the Gen Zs, the Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, the young folks.
Yeah.
For a young child who is maybe in their teens or maybe even early 20s that is in this platform today, that is watching us, seeing this content, or maybe will see this content later. And let's say, for instance, right, let's say they live with their parent.
Okay.
And they want to get into school. However, they have strong interest in playing football, and they will rather pursue the football thing than going to the university. But to the parents, you need to go to university, you need to study a particular course, right? The parents is probably thinking about the security of the child, the future of the child, to secure a better future for this child because of how well they are seeing the economy from their own lens. And this child is saying that for me to live truly, I just need to play football. But they have other things in their head, which ranges from pursuing this would automatically mean going to war with your parents. Pursuing this will mean also fending for yourself, maybe in some cases.
Yep.
Pursuing this will mean people around you looking at you like you have thrown your life away, especially when your parents are so willing to financially see you through this course that they want you to study. Now, what is your advice for somebody who is in that shoe? Because they are listening to us and we are asking them to live their true life. Be authentic, right? What would possibly be how you would approach this, or how you would advise a 19, 20-year-old to approach this?
Okay. So, first things first, what we need to understand is, in this scenario, we need to, as a child, I need to get the point where my parents are coming from, right?
Okay.
I need to get why they want this, right? So, as you rightly said, they've looked at the whole economic situation and they feel, so you need to get to the point of the parents, like, because most times, at the baseline, parents they are acting from love. And the love they are acting from, and the parameters they have to love is the knowledge base they have. That means how they see the world, that's how they will love the person, right? Yeah. So number one, as the teenager or the young adult,
Yeah.
I'm first going to understand where they're coming from. So, what do you really want from me? Really, what's in your perspective? What do you really want, right? So, you want me to be stable financially. You want me to be this, you want me to be that, you want me to be a respected person, you want me to hold a status in the society that is respectable, right? So I will understand those things, right? First. Then my dream or my career that I want to pursue. First of all, because I'm choosing that career, that means certain things I'm drawn to that career for certain reasons. So they need to be clear to me too. The reasons why I'm drawn to that career needs to be clear to me. Because most times, the problem we have is the adults around us just think we don't know what we are doing, or the child does not know what they are doing. They don't have enough information. That's why they are behaving the way they are behaving, right? So, first things first, I need to know why I love football.
Okay.
Very well. So, let's just put it at the base. I love football because it makes me happy, and I've seen stars around, like people playing football, and it's all good, right? I have to discuss with these people. I'm not discussing because I want them to approve. I want to discuss because I want them to know that I'm not acting from whims, right? I'm not acting from something I did not sit down to think about. It's not thoughtless. It's not something I just picked from somewhere. It's something that actually resonates with me.
Yeah.
So I will lay out how I think about these things, why these things will be important in my life, right? Then I will also sit and paint a scenario of whatever they want me to be, right? As a young adult, I'm going to drive these two scenarios to the end for my parents or my guardians. I'm going to drive them to the end. Then tell them that, you see this thing, I understand what you want here, right? This side, I understand it thoroughly. You see this one, you may not understand it. Or do you have any question about this? Like, ask me questions about this that you don't understand, really.
Okay.
I'm ready to answer. Like, if I don't know it now, I will go and think about it and come up with something. I may not know it now, right? But ask me about this thing. Why you think this thing is not good for my life? I know all your reasons why you think this is good for my life, right? I know. But this is the reason why this is good for my life, and this is why I want to pursue it. What do you have as what's the reason you think it's not good? So they should tell me. But we live in a society, another thing you should understand, we live in a society whereby the parents are very authoritative, right? They don't listen much.
Yes.
So this is more like a debate thing. I'm trying to portray, right? Yeah. Which is not very, very feasible. It's not absolutely feasible, right?
Okay.
Yes. But you should go that route first. I will go that route first, right? Now, why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to prove to you that I really know what I'm doing, and it's my life. You can really contribute to helping me make it better, but this is the decision I've chosen, and there's a reason why. It's not something I just picked up. Or even if I picked it up, I'm strongly affiliated to this now. Is there anything you can tell me to prove to me that what I'm thinking in line with this does not make sense? If it does not, fine, I will accept. Right? But this is why I don't want to follow this your route. So whatever they tell me that they want me to be, I need to have why I don't want to go there. Because there may be a simple reason. I will not be happy. Right? And certain people may say, Your happiness is your security. Nothing else is happiness except security. Right? People may say that. But not everybody really thinks about that. And if I'm that person that does not think about that, I will let them know why I don't see it that way. And why I think this will work out for me. So the point for me is going with the direction of, I want to know what I'm doing, and I want to, so I don't just want to be doing what I want to do. I want to really know it very well, so that when they ask me questions, I will answer. And if there's anything they throw to me that is puzzling, I need to really think about it. So that's one way of going about it. Then secondly, because I'm the young person and there are certain aspects of this life that I may be seeing more clearly than the adults. Right?
Okay.
Yes. So, because there's always a reason why somebody wants to do something. And me personally, I think the best way to correct somebody is tell them, okay, this is what you are doing. I don't think so. This is what I think. Right? But allow them to pursue whatever they are pursuing. Let them finish it. Let them get done with it. And if it does not work, we can do something else. So,
thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Are you done?
So yeah. So the way I will go about it is actually, whatever I want, I need to really, really know it. I need to know it. I need to know it. That is my job, because I want the best for myself, right? So I need to know that this thing is really the best for me. I need to be convinced. And once I'm convinced, I won't be like you. Most times you can't express yourself very well because you are not convinced. And fear comes from doubt. Yeah, fear comes from doubt. So when you are scared to probably tell them it's because you doubt certain things about what you are doing. But if you don't doubt it and you truly believe it, there was a thought that came to my head, and this is some time ago, and I later understood that this is how this can be actually used in the wrong way. The truth about life is this: once you are convinced about something, whatever outcome you get while pursuing that thing is the most fulfilling thing, even though it's death, is very fulfilling. Yes, even though it's death, even though it's pushing you to a direction whereby you are losing everything that makes sense to people around you. But you were convinced at the beginning, without like beyond all reasonable doubts, right? That is it. You just need courage to follow that your conviction. Yeah. So, first of all, I will explain my conviction. Okay. And I will understand where they are coming from. I need to really understand it because they are not stupid. Anybody that wants something from me, right? There is an aspect of love that is coming from, right? So they need to know that I understand it. But they also need to know that this is my life. These are my decisions. The mistakes are mine. And me as a person too, I should be able to always know that I hold responsibility to take the consequences of whatever action I'm about to follow through. So, as a young person, I will know what I'm doing very well. I will know why it makes sense and why then I will want to say it out. But if I don't say it, if they don't understand, I will also know that now, do I have the courage to follow what I really want, or do I want to pursue a life that probably I may find something along the way, right? But that's not what I really want, right? Not that I will totally be miserable with following that. But that may mean I'm living somebody else's life, because that is somebody else's program. That is somebody else's construct from the way they have seen life, right? So that is somebody else's construct. So now, do I want to follow that and live that person's life? Or do I want to live my own life? And because in life, there are always consequences, either good, bad, average, medium, whatever it is, there are consequences, whatever actions you take. So I should be at peace with that as a person. And I should I should also weigh what I can take at that time too. Would they throw me out of the house if I choose this path? Can I take that consequence now?
Okay.
Do you understand? Because there are consequences, like it's not
there are consequences to actions.
Yes. So whatever I'm doing now, can I take this now? Okay. Do I want to play along till I can take this? Or do I want to get more conviction? Am I confused? Do I want to get more conviction to know what I'm doing properly? So these are the ways I'll go around it.
That's actually clear. That's clear now. You have to weigh your options. You have to know what you want to do. Like Oma, our
moderator, she was listening.
Moderator.
Yeah.
I have done well to list out the things that you were saying, and the very first one was know my conviction beyond doubt, beyond every doubt. Explain that conviction to them. Get to know their own path, understand where they are coming from, right? And all of that. Be ready to deal with whatever comes, with the consequences, of your actions or of your decision.
And do you know the sweet part of this? When you are actually ready to deal with the consequences, right? That is when you have utmost conviction. Because you just know.
If you have accepted to deal with the consequences, then you must have been able to have great clarity on that thing, that cause. Okay. I believe that first category of persons are listening. And I believe that this is actually impactful to them. This will help them skate through that. I believe that conversations help a lot. I believe that it goes a long way. It might not be everything, sometimes the best approach can also be other means. But I believe that conversation goes a long way to solving problems. And the conversation is not just one person talking and the other person listening. The conversation actually, we all rubbing minds. We all stating truly how it is with us, what we think, how it is actually rambling in our heads. And if we're able to explain our points very clearly, I think that not only will the other person hear us, but then the other person can also tell us what they think about what we have explained.
Very important.
Thank you very much. I will have a few minutes to wrap this up. It's just for an hour. And we started exactly by 3 p.m. And according to that time, we just have 9 minutes to go. But before that time, I would want to ask. Huh?
There is a question. Oma is posing a question.
Okay.
Does acceptance mean you have clarity, or does it simply be confirmation bias? So, talking about that, at the beginning, there's something I've always said, right? Our thoughts, generally, how we view life, they are from certain places. Where we grew up, what we have been feeding with our eyes, right? the initial work of convincing yourself is actually points where your biases are coming from. This thing I'm really thinking, this thing I want to pursue, right? Is it really me, or is molded, or I know somebody that is doing it and I've seen their life like this and I want to do it like that? Or is it because somebody's telling me to do it? Like, this is the point. That's the self-work. It's more self than explaining. See, explaining to people is like, it's Jara, like it's
You must
extra.
have really understood before you can be able to explain.
Yes, it's extra. It's really extra. The real work is inside. So now you need to know that these biases I have, are they going to work for my utmost inner, because we have purposes in life, right? Would this suit my purpose? This bias that I'm buying, right? Would this suit my purpose? Can I know where it came from? The original idea, like, how did the person form the original idea? How did the person get to this? Right? So it's not, it's more about clearing our doubts, our biases. After doing all that, so before we explain to people, we are inside doing all the work, mapping it out. Does this make sense or this not make sense? Why am I thinking this way? Why should I do it this way? Why must it go this way? Why are people doing it this way, and why are they getting these results? Why is this way not being followed? All these are things we really need to think about. So when you say confirmation bias, right? Yeah. You are really trying to know what you see. Every thought that comes to our head, please, like, every thought that comes to our head, we should really, we should not take it as ours, really, until you sit down to actually think about it properly. It's not yours until you have really synthesized it and added your own life beat into it. So clarity only comes from when you receive something, but you've added your life essence into it. Clarity will come. So it becomes yours, because it's not exactly the same way you received it. You have tweaked it with your own essence. You have improved it, right? And that's where clarity is. I don't know if that answers that question.
I think it is clear enough, because I was gonna ask questions relating to what she have asked, and I was gonna be a little different from what she asked. I was gonna say, for somebody who, but I think you've answered it all. But the question was supposed to be for somebody who wants to become all of this because of influences. If they can actually differentiate whether they are being influenced or whether they truly, and that was supposed to lead to another question, like, do we really choose to become things, or we are actually influenced? I do not think that anybody was born to be a particular thing if you haven't seen somebody who is doing it and want to mirror that person.
Okay. So about that,
Okay.
so the way I see life, right? It's a continuous process of learning, right? It's a continuous process of learning. So I've seen somebody, I like the way they are doing their thing, right? All right, I want to pick that part, right? But if I do it exactly the way they are doing it, right? I've not improved anything. That means at each point in my life, because I'm on that path, I always call that person. This is this. How will you do it? And I have to follow it that way. So I'm just here following. I'm a non-player character per se, because I'm not adding anything to the knowledge, to consciousness. I'm not adding anything. But once I see something, I like it, right? I say, okay, how is this thing going? How do you go about it? I say, oh, okay, you go about it this way, right? Okay. Is there another way around it? You say, there might be. And just even looking, right? Just even looking to see that, okay, there's something else, but this person is just choosing to do it this way. When you are faced with circumstances, you are adding bits to what that person will do, whoever that person is. That is why they say a true teacher. That means somebody you see and you model, you like the person. A true teacher does not teach you anything. He always directs you back to yourself. That means, you know what? You like what I'm doing, right? Fine. But what I'm doing, you can do it your own way. It may still be what I'm doing, right? But your own way. So you have to see your core self has to be in it. Originality has to be in it. What comes from you has to be in it. So you are not meant to follow. That is why certain things. I saw a write-up that said general knowledge, like the general, this is about religion. So generally people say Jesus Christ. Right? But the esoteric people, that means the Gnostics, the deeper people, the hidden knowledge people, they say Christ Jesus. Now, well, the Jesus Christ, I'm just bringing this because the Jesus Christ is more like Jesus is Christ, right? But Christ Jesus means there is Christ and Jesus became Christ. So the sense of it is, when you say Jesus Christ, you are following his steps. So exactly what would Jesus do here? Right? But Christ Jesus, you are preparing yourself to be the Christ self. Right? So you're adding yourself to it. You're adding your essence to it. So even though you want to model Jesus, right? There is an essence from you that you can add, because the sole goal for Jesus is the Christ consciousness, right? So now, going through, you want to have Christ consciousness. How will you go through it? So you can find your way to actually achieve that consciousness. So yeah. So following people or having a bias from people, okay, it's not a problem, but you need to really know what is coming, and know how you can improve it, how you can add to it to get to where you're going.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have actually said more than required, people. You have given more. I've given a deep light to this conversation, and I really appreciate you for coming to share your knowledge with us, and to give us your insights on these sensitive topics, and also the best measures you think that you could take towards approaching some of these sensitive topics.
You say, how does someone differentiate self-love and the tendency to being selfish? So self-love and selfishness, I get it.
Okay.
So the point is,
you have to differentiate self-love and selfishness.
Yes.
All right.
So loving yourself without harming anybody. That simply is.
That is simply self-love.
Yes. So no, that's the difference between See, loving yourself without harming anybody is the difference between self-love and selfishness. Selfishness, that means you don't care. Selfishness doesn't even mean you love yourself. You just don't care you don't care about other people, but you want to achieve your aim. You don't really just care about them. And you don't care, the not caring is, you don't care if they are hot, if they are in danger, if they feel, you simply don't care. You simply just want to do what you want to do. You don't care, like, there's nothing on your way. You don't see anything. You don't want to consider anything at all. There's no consideration. You just want to simply do what you want to do. But self-love, you know what you want to do. You know why you want to do it. But the reason why you should be here at this point is because you have an open mind. That means you can listen with reason, right? You can listen to whatever is coming and filter it through. So, for example, I'm going to Port Harcourt and I need to get to Port Harcourt to attend an event. Now, because I have a big car and the road is blocked, I have a timing to get to Port Harcourt. So, I've thought that 100 kilometers per hour will get me there. So, I always want to be at that 100 kilometers per hour. That will get me there. So, as I'm moving, now, my own is, I'm coming, I'm with lights, full headlights, with my horn. I'm coming, right?
Okay.
So, and I'm horning. So everybody should know that somebody's coming, knows what they are doing, and is on speed.
Yeah.
Selfishness is, as I'm coming, I will blow through anything. I don't care if it's a person. If the person chose not to see or know that something is coming and they get out of the way, I don't care. I'm going to blow through them. Because I have somewhere to be by. So in that scenario, there is no, and it does not see, selfishness does not mean you love yourself. That's another thing. It has nothing to do with love, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, selfishness has nothing to do with that. That is why I say this love thing, we mistake it for so much. Let me give you an example. Your parents want you to be something, right? They tell you it's love, but no, it's because they don't want to be seen in a certain way. But it's not love. It's selfishness.
They want to be seen in a certain way.
Yes.
Sometimes. Not all the reasons.
Not all times. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So see, there's no point somebody saying is doing something because of love for themselves that is hurting somebody else really. True hurt, like true hurt, not the assumed hurt. That means I told you to do this and you did not do this, so that's why I'm hurt. That is not it. You are just trying to control somebody. It did not hurt you. You just failed in
That's manipulation.
Yes, you just failed in your ego mission. It's not hurt. But true self-love is always considerate. And we always want the next person to know what they are doing. Really, this is it. This is why it's been done, so that you understand it. Okay, it's already saying thank you. So you get the point.
Yeah, I get the point. Yeah, he got the point. But I think you are clear enough. I actually haven't looked at it from that perspective before, that selfishness is not love.
It's never love, really. It's never love. Because see, the word love, that's the highest frequency ever. Ever. And you can't really say you love yourself and you are doing something hurtful to somebody else. You can't. You don't. You probably just want to achieve an aim. Right? But it's not true love. True love is very different. And it's something everybody really need to ponder about, really need to sit down and say, what is love really? What is true love? Right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think that we can come again and talk about true love in someone because I think that just this one, point goes to show that there possibly are a lot of misconceptions around love, and it will not be bad if we will dive into it more and open it, elaborate more on that. Thank you so much, Doc, for coming to the live. We have taken 10 minutes out of the time, and it shows that we have a lot we're talking about. We have a lot to actually clear up. That's why we're taking our time to clear it. That's why you are taking your time to clear it out. Thank you so much. We will also have you here anytime we feel that the topic we are talking about is sensitive enough for you.
I love to be around.
Thank you, everybody. Holistic Life, Kel, Elvis, Angie Kels, McQueen just joining now. Oma have been doing so great at the moderating thing. Thank you so much. Sandra is here. She said love has definitely been one of the most
100%.
used words in our world. I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, yeah, 100 really abused. Yeah, because I think we should start from understanding what it really is before extending it to other person. I think there are more persons who are joining now, but we are just rounding off and we are about leaving this place now. Blessing Lee just joined. Is that my wife?
Yes, that is my wife. It will be sanctioned.
Yeah, just joining when we are finishing. Anyways, thank you all for coming. Thank you all. I have learned a lot. And I believe that many persons who have joined us here also have learned a couple of things. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for honoring our invites. We will have you here again to talk about more things. Thank you, sir. Big T's, thank you for joining, but we have to wrap up this and head to other things. We'll see you next Sunday with another guest talking about one other topic that is sensitive and that we should learn from. Thank you all. Thank you very much, sir.
So,
See you
on a closing note, I think I need to say something. So, really, on a closing note, we as humans, we as individuals, we are very unique. There's something in us that is different that we need to add to the pool of existence. Really. Every single individual, there's a reason you are here, right? And if you can't go inward to get it and bring it out to life, no matter what people call success, what is being tendered as being successful in the entire world, what they render as success, you would not be filled. That is why certain individuals that you may think are successful are living a miserable life. Horrible. You don't even want to be in their lives, really. But externally, they look very successful. So it's actually our life work. This is greater than the job you go to or what you do for a living. Because literally you don't really need to do anything for a living, but you're forced to do something for a living. but this is why you are here, really. You are here to give. You have a gift, right? And the only way you can find that gift is by being authentic, being your true self, finding yourself. So we all need to really, 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 whatever tools, there are a lot of tools available now that can help us point us inward. So anything that is helping you point inward, there's no greater love than that. And truly, anything that is pointing you outward may appear to be love, but that is just control. Because you are giving off your powers. You are not recognizing what you are even giving off. So, being authentic, being your true self. One old man said, it's one of my friend, he said, be yourself, really. Because there's a self that is not your name, it's not your job, it's not, no.
Yourself,
Is there. We want to have it. I want to get it. So, bring it up. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
listening. Thank you for our host. Thank you, Oma. Thank you, Elvis.
You are here to contribute to the expansion of consciousness and authenticity. And authenticity is the way to get there. Yeah. Oma have done well in documenting, in pointing this thing out, in taking notes, in jotting things down.
Down.
like Josh will say, to jot things down. Thank you all. We gotta go. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doc. Thank you.
Peace out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.